Hello YouTube, I'm MTG Joe, and today we're going to be playing some Bant Midrange on MTG Arena Best of 1 Ranked. Hope all's going well for you, springtime weather got you cheery. So this is a list I found on Twitter, someone had gone mythic with it. I didn't get his name, I've been trying to find it in my feed, but if you're seeing this, shout out, this deck's amazing actually. I've gone 9-0 in both ranked best of 1 and that new treasure format to get the stylized cards with it, the Skewer the Critics and Chemist's Insight. The deck itself is a mid-range Vannifar style list that's playing kind of toolboxy. So I can walk you through some of the cards included. So we got the super stylish Llanowar Elves, free giveaway today, or this weekend. There is the promo code for those who haven't done it. Let me pull it up in the meantime. So if you use promo code, so Super Scry, all one word, will get you the promo opt. And then Starter Styles will get you Llanowar Elf, will get you Viashino Pyromancer, and then like a Divination and a couple other cards, but really those two are... So I'll put those in the comments as well, but you can get some free stylized cards right now, otherwise you got to usually pay for these. The rest of the deck, we have a 1 of Tithe Taker, 2 Incubation Druids, a Ixalli's Diviner, which is basically just to help us explore. One of my favorite cards, Kraul Harpooner, eats those flyers for days. 2 Jellyfish and Krasis. We have 4 Militia Bugler, so Militia Bugler can actually pull together most of the deck, and it's a good kind of value engine for us to draw cards. 1 of Exclusion Mage, 1 Rejuvenator to ramp, 2 Deputies, a Knight of Autumn, Unbreakable Formation to keep our creatures alive, and then we can also Alpha Strike with the ++1 counters, 2 Shalai, which is really good against mono red, 2 Conclave Cavaliers, so this will 4/4 with Vigilance, that leaves you with 2 2/2s, it's a mouthful, Elf Knights with Vigilance. We have Vannifar, which if you're familiar with the channel, we've played a lot of Vannifar pod decks. So basically she can sack a creature other than herself, and then this is sorcery speed. You can go and then find a creature with converted mana cost 1 more than the creature you're sacking. So this is what gives us the toolbox element to find a lot of these 1-ofs. Then we got a couple Planeswalkers and Vivien and Ajani, just to bridge the deck together. We got the big angel herself, Lyra. 1 Biogenic Ooze, with which, if it goes unchecked, it wins the game on its own. Trostani, kind of just an anthem for the team. Then we got Carnage T, the big dino, and clearly Standard's staple, Azor the Lawbringer. So I'm assuming most of you aren't familiar with this card, but when it enters the battlefield, each opponent can't cast instance or sorcery during that player's next turn, and then whenever it attacks, it's basically the card Sphinx's Revelation. You can pay 3 and X, and you gain X life and draw X cards. I've cast this once against blue-white control, and they scooped. But other than that, it actually hasn't come up in really any games. So this is probably the one that I would be most inclined to cut, either for like another Carnage Tyrant, potentially even like another Lyra or Trostani, just as like an anthem. I like to go wide fact. So we'll play this in some ranked best of 1. I'm still at Platinum. So I think we're at Platinum 3 now. Closing on Platinum 2. We keep going up and down. Been running on different hot streaks. But so as this game gets loaded, if you haven't done so already, if you can subscribe, it's a free and easy way to support the channel. Costs you absolutely nothing, and it goes a long way to helping me reach some YouTube milestones and requirements just to keep the channel going. But if you can, it'd be greatly appreciated. And enough pandering, we'll keep this hand. So we'll Elf on 1, we can Knight on 2, or Exclusion Mage just to bounce. So I'm going to leave with the Temple Garden because we can get blue off the Hinterland Harbor. Okay, so here Here, just for the tempo, we'll blink this. They might have, if they wasted a counter on it, then it's fine. If they use a dive down, it's fine. But we'll see if they have a trickster here. I actually haven't been playing a lot of mono blue lately. At least in this rank, it's just been not as popular. It's just Esper. It's Esper all day, every day. Opponent opts here. Probably trying to dig for a third land. Okay. So this is a good opening for us to get down Prime Speaker. Here I'm just gonna attack in. We're not gonna trade with the Trickster anyways because I want to pod the Exclusion Mage. So they play the Djinn. So here... Here, let's play the Vivien.
Let's see if you're worthy.
Tap down. And then what we'll do is they're going to sack, obviously, and then we can Kraul Harpooner. So no attacks. So this puts the one creature in the graveyard that we need for Kraul Harpooner. And then it can fight the Tempest Djinn, and then they won't be able to do anything about it. And then this way, unless they have a Trickster to tap down our Exclusion Mage, the Herald can only deal 1 point of damage to Vivien. Then we're in a pretty good spot. If they have Curious Obsession, okay, so they do have the Trickster. It's fine. They'll be able to kill. I'm going to hold the Elf in hand, probably. Or actually, we'll play the Elf. We'll hold the Knight of Autumn. So let's pod here. Probably just get the Cavalier because it can leave some bodies behind. Just play Breeding Pool and play out Llanowar Elves. So we're going to play out Llanowar Elves. We'll keep it out because we can still go for the other Kraul Harpooner. I want to keep this for a Curious Obsession. Okay, so another Trickster. If they do have an Obsession, we can block. Okay, so the Pteramander. So, no blocks here. I want to get the Harpooner to kill the Pteramander. Actually... So let's play out the Bugler first to see what we get. Ah, that was rough. So here... Could have floated mana, but we don't really have anything to play. So we'll get the Kraul Harpooner. Okay, so they use a dive down. It's fine. We can still heal if need be. We're just going to gain some life here. Attack for 4. Opponent concedes. So good showing versus mono blue. Yeah, so we're 8-0 today with the deck. This is our 9th win, so we're 9-0. Just feels really smooth. You have the ability to gain life, you have the ability to deal with pretty much any type of permanent. I Deputy of Detention 3 Goblin Chain Whirlers earlier, and then played Shalai to protect it from any sort of lightning strike. Alright, so this hand, we can turn 3 Cavalier. It's a little slower, but I think we keep. So hopefully not mono red. They tend to have the most answers to the turn 1 elf. And then the rest of the hand's pretty slow. Of course, mono red. Of course. And drawing both 6 drops is really awkward. The Cavalier is good if this is a more creature build. We're actually short a white source as well, which is awkward. We've drawn a lot of breeding pools. I think we lost this one. If we don't hit a white source next turn. Okay, so Tithe Taker's not bad. It leaves 2 bodies at least. If they Chain Whirler, it's awkward. But we can still block. So we'll block here, and then we have the body on the flip side to deal with the Pyromancer. So it wasn't our it was probably a better draw for here. This one's tough because if we take it, we're down. But if we decline, we give him 3 cards. I think we take this one and then decline the next time. Okay. So we have Cavalier now. We could also Azor's next turn, which will shut him off of instants and sorceries. So they'll tap out for risk factor and then go from there. And then we can shut him off whatever they draw. And then hopefully just gain some life back with Azor. So here we'll attack in for 4 first. It's also a 6/6 body. So they'll block and sack, killing our spirit. Oh, they're just going to the face there. Alright, let's see what you can do, Sphinx Daddy. So next turn we can gain 3 life back, 4 life actually, by attacking. This shuts off their risk factor for the turn. And gets us back up to 8 life. On upkeep, his opponent gonna burn us out. They might have 2 Wizard's Lightning. Ah, they had it. If we got an attack in, we probably would have won this one. But even with a really slow draw, we almost came back. So, Azor kind of did something there. Like, I don't know if just another Shalai or something in that spot would have made a difference. This hand is slow. Opponent did mulligan. Let's try it out. Looks like Esper. The Druid's good there because we can Cavalier on 3. If those were in the other order, it would have been a lot better. Okay, so they Moment of Craving. Opponent missed a land, which is actually quite nice for us. Just play out the elf here. If they miss another land drop, we'll probably just jam Vivien. I'm doing this now because they're less likely to have a counter, and this is harder for them to get off the table. They need to get up to 4 mana.
Knows the wilds like I do.
Take the Tithe Taker there. It'll screw up their mana situation. And opponent concedes. So really quick showing of the deck. We were just going to tax Esper out of the game there. So this deck, we've been playing best of one with it. We could put a sideboard together, but I've really liked it as the surprise element. If opponent starts boarding in some more Carnariums, just more like board wipes, then it's a little tricky. Most don't play that many wipes in the main. I like this hand. We can Bugler on 2, and then we basically have 2 creature draws for the most part. We have all our colors, no complaints. Against mono blue, we have an answer. Okay, this looks like it's probably Kraul Midrange. So we're going to be mindful of overextending our elves. Just hoping for something more impactful than a Rejuvenator. We're all mana right now. And even the Bugler against these Kraul decks tends to not be that effective. Like they're playing Harpooners, which can easily trade. See if the opponent takes the trade here. So I'm going to hold on to the Harpooner because they usually play Phoenix in this build. We'll play the Rejuvenator and play out an Elf if they have the Chain Whirler. Well, that's not good. Just not even getting value off that. So territory, and they have the Chain Whirler, so that was the worst outcome. Actually, Cavalier is good there. It blocks. It's actually a really good draw. Still think like throwing this away isn't too bad. The elf isn't really going to do much at this point of the game. So they have Growth Chamber. They don't have enough to adapt it this turn, but next turn it can trade with the Cavalier. Let's go. Okay. We won't block. This telegraphs that they have either like a shock or some sort of pump spell. Carnage Tyrant's nice. Getting the points here. And just play out Llanowar Elf. Don't think we play enough split cards to make like Hero Precinct 1 good in this deck. Okay, so the Black Splash is usually out of the sideboard for like the Jund Whirler style. Interesting. They tapped weird. Okay, so Lyra's really good here. And then if we could draw a land for Carnage Tyrant, but Lyra can deal with Rekindling Phoenix, it can gain us some life and really put this game out of reach. I'm not going to attack here. So I guess this is basically red-green, splash black for a couple unconditional removal spells. Lyra being legendary is really a bonus. Okay, so they had the collision. Just double block here. Bugler. So, Deputy of Detention gives us a removal spell next turn. Whereas Llanowar Elf ensures that we get to Carnage Tyrant. I think we still get Deputy out. We can exile a Phoenix if need be. We can... And this makes it so they can't attack with the Chain Whirler because we can double block. Because if they play out 2 Growth Chambers, we can just exile it with Deputy of Detention. Hydroid Krasis would be good as well. But I really think we're just trying to hit our land. So if they have a pump spell, this blows us out. Missed that one actually. The first strike would have come through. Grun the Lonely King. Okay, so if it attacks alone, it doubles its power. So I'm just gonna play Shalai, and then we'll block. Like if it wants to attack alone. If not, we'll throw an elf or something in front of it. This can at least block Chain Whirler. See if they have another collision. It's a very odd card. So we're dead if they have the Colossus side, but I don't think we double block there. So here, just take the Growth Chamber Guardians, and no attacks. If they attack with just Grun. I think for them last turn I would have attacked with everything. Made more sense. Throw the elf in the way. Cuts us off like the mana for Carnage Tyrant, but I think it's safer anyways. Five drop wise. Okay, doesn't really help to be honest. We can't block here. We gotta throw something in front of there, so I think we are dead regardless. Because the Deputy we gotta block with, because this can pump. If they just attack with that. So here's the thing, we can get Trust Danny, but we can't pot away the Deputy of Detention. Because they get it back. Still think we do this. Opponent's playing way too conservative in my opinion. They should be attacking with everything. Like this becomes a 6/7. Block with the Tyrant. We can't attack with the Tyrant anyways, they have the 2 Chain Whirlers. Okay, so that can get us another Deputy of Detention. Or actually, we'll probably get so here we can get Militia Bugler, hope to hit another creature. Or we get rid of Deputy of Detention and fog them for a turn. But then they attack with the Chain Whirlers and that. I think we have to go for 2 creatures. And we'll see if they incorrectly attack, but if they strike with everything, they win. Did not think I'd be getting beat by this card. Gruul's probably a tough matchup for this deck, just because their creatures tend to scale a little larger. What is this guy playing? Yeah, he's got it. This is pretty much what's been happening on ranked. We'll get like 5 to 7 wins in a row and then just really weird matchups. This hand's not great. I think I'm gonna mulligan. This hand doesn't have green, but now it does. Always had it. Mono red, this isn't the best. Knight of Autumn can give us 4 life. So they attack in here. It's actually pretty solid for us that they didn't have a follow-up. This is a slower mono red turn. Okay, so lightning strike, that's fine. Strike us instead of the creatures. So here we'll just play out the Knight of Autumn, gain 4 life, block a Chain Whirler. We'll see if they sack the Firebrand. We can also use Ajani just basically as a rebuy Knight of Autumn for 4 life. Okay, so they play that out there. So I think our best chance of winning, we get Prime Speaker down next turn. Okay, they got Chain Whirler and Lightning Strike, which is awkward. So I think we just tax them as much as we can on their mana. They need another land. This slows them down. If we could get Ooze down next turn. So the line I wanted to do before they had light up the stage into that was play Vannifar this turn, take the damage if need be, and then follow it up with the Exclusion Mage bounce and then get Shalai. Okay, that's fine. So if they can't kill our main Ooze, then we're just going to keep making Oozes. Okay. See if they have the shock. No blocks this turn. Okay, so we're punished there. What do we got? We got Knight of Autumn that we can buy back and play other Tithe Taker. Okay, so that actually didn't work the way I forgot. Knight was 3 mana. So let's see if they get distracted by Ajani and want to attack that. Frenzy's also pretty bad. Okay, it's actually pretty good for us. So we want to get the Knight of Autumn from our deck next turn if they don't kill Tithe Taker. And then blow up Experimental Frenzy, because that's going to give them the most action. Okay, so they got the second Frenzy, so then it's not as impactful. Probably just Exclusion Mage this back to their hand. So they basically a burn spell from killing us. So I think we then need to go Knight of Autumn to gain the life. So here, block, block, take 2, we're dead to Lightning Strike, but we're pretty much dead to Lightning Strike. Okay. So here we'll Prime Speaker. Come on, opponent. Oh, we only play 1 Knight of Autumn in this build. It's not my pod deck, so we got a Deputy of Detention instead. Opponent goes to the face. Let's see what we get off Bugler. Get another Bugler. Just get another Bugler. Helps us dig the deepest. Let's just go big.
Look how far you
No burn spell 1 turn. Okay, Frenzy. Yep, they got us. Alright, so we're going to make a quick change. Azor is not what I want to be doing, and Knight of Autumn is. If we had a Knight of Autumn there, we would have won. And we'll play out 1 more. Alright, so if this had a green source, this would be a snap keep, but it doesn't. This hand's better, so we'll keep. Are we on the play? Why doesn't it say? We want the 4th land anyways. Just play out the Sunpetal. So we got get to only mono red we've been running into recently. So Steam Can here. I'll just go Breeding Pool and play out a Harpooner. No attacks for us. So not being able to deal with the Steamkin is a little troublesome. So we'll see if they Firebrand or Tithe Taker. They go to the face, which suggests they have Light Up the Stage or Skewer. Wizard's Lightning Harpooner. Well, this is how mono red goes off. And this is why you need to remove the Steam Can. Just play with Pyromancer if I was them. Wow. They're going off. We're just gonna get another game going. It's funny how hot I run off stream, and then on these videos, it's just that insanity off mono red. That was turn 3, by the way. Keep this hand. Druid on 2, Shalai on 3, if need be. Stomping Grounds, probably Gruul. So I might actually just Bugler into Llanowar next turn. Play out Bugler. It's the Squadron Hawk of our standard. I know there's Vicious Conquistador, but Bugler finds more Buglers. So they make that 4 power. Here. Let's see what we find off of Bugler. Deputy is nice here. Just play with the Llanowar Elf. No attacks. We can double block the Spellbreaker if they attack in with it. If they use a Colossus, then it's a Colossus they're not going to use on Shalai or the Hydroid Krasis. Good timing on that. Harpooner would have been pretty good against our other cards. So here we can Shalai or we can Deputy. I think we just go Shalai and then play out the Elf. This line's weaker to Chain Whirler, but it'll protect whatever we play the following turns. Okay, so if they adapt Growth Chamber Guardian, we can Get that out of the way. Formation's really good. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. X equals 5 here. I don't get the other card draw, so I think we play out the Deputy. Here. So Growth Chamber Guardian, you force them to adapt, pay their mana. Gives you a 4/4. Yeah, this forces them to spend their mana. We can surprise them with formation if need be. If we don't draw a land next turn, we can Krasis. Or actually, I don't mind either just holding up. We can hold up formation and then just keep Shalaiing each turn to make our team bigger. That's fine. I want to get an extra. Okay. So here we'll just play the land. We'll hold up formation. And then we can just Shalai. If nothing else, they're likely just going to keep Growth Chamber Guardian. That's cool. But we want to get these Buglers to where they're large enough that they can start attacking in. And then stay back on defense. Formation's a nice trick as well. So they Lava Coil here. They're going to use 2 spells. But yeah, that takes them out there. Alright, much better showing there. Just Platinum 3 is where I'm going to end up. Alrighty, so let me know what you think of the deck in the comments below. We're going to come back with some more Jeskai Drakes, play a couple more best of 3 games with that. But if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a great one.